Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Aarti Anand. She is an AI expert, founder of Coordinates AI, where she helps B2B founders and CEOs escape the hustle by automating the busy work that holds them back. We'll learn from her how small business and CEOs can automate the busy work and reclaim their freedom without sacrificing quality or connection. Welcome to the show, Aarti.
Thank you, Ajay. I'm excited.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about how one can buy back their time with smart automation. We'll talk all about this. But before that, Aarti, let's talk a bit about your background, your journey, so that people know who they are listening to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Aarti Anand. I've been building software products for more than 15 years now. And last year, I had this epiphany where I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. In this age of AI and the age of technology that we're living in, I wanted to go build my own empire. And I chose AI and automations is because when I talk to business owners, all of us start our businesses with a mission, with an end goal in mind. We want to build a business that will buy us the freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of money. But then during this journey, we tend to get so busy, and then we also tend to justify why we're staying busy all the time doing all the things in our business. And that's what AI and automations can help you do. They can help you buy back your time by automating the workflows, by putting the systems in place so you have more time to go off of your desk while your business is still running. It's not going to fall apart when you take a break. And then you go live life as a human and not just be tied to your desk all the time. So that's my mission. I want to help all the SMB owners to live the life of the freedom that they want to, while also kicking ass in their business.
Absolutely, absolutely, Aarti. So you talk about AI, or AI automation. Now, in terms of earlier on also automation was there, and now you talk about AI using AI for automation. What's the difference, and how much was that earlier on successful? How much do you think this is becoming successful?
I love that question, Ajay. Not everybody asks that question. So, yeah, let's dive in. So, automations have existed for a very, very long time. They are just glamorized now in the age of AI. And the reason why that is just because yes, there's lots of noise around AI. It seemed as a buzzword. Not everybody is jumping on that train. But there is a reason that the hype seems real and people are paying more attention now. It's just like Apple had come out with a smartphone, with iPhone, and they had made smartphones so accessible. Many of those technology existed, but the way they put the interface together, it was in your pocket and even your grandma could use it, right? And that's what OpenAI has done, launching ChatGPT. Now they have made it accessible to anybody and everybody. And that's why it starts to make sense to people more. But there is a caveat to it. AI can amplify whatever you feed it. So if you feed it lots of chaos, it's going to amplify the chaos, which is why there is a precursor to it, which was talked about for many, many decades. But now people realize how important that is. And the fact that you need to have systems in place, an SOP in place, an internal training in place before you can use AI to automate it. That's how AI and automation are now clubbed together, but they won't make any sense unless you have a process which is manual and it's proven to work in your business. AI or automation to automate that process, which has not been proven to work manually, it won't make sense there.
Absolutely. So if AI and automation, all those things make so much of sense. Why is it that the people still have misconceptions about AI in business? Help us understand that. Especially you talk about small businesses. Why do small businesses? A lot of times small businesses are, started by startups and all, very young people. Many of them. Why is it that they also have the same misconception?
That's a great question. And I love that you're going in that direction because before everybody jumps on it, there are lots of misconceptions, which we call myths, that tend to float around unless someone comes along and they debunk all those myths, which is when it starts to make sense to SMB owners. So, what I hear on a daily basis is first concern is, well, if I put AI and automations in my business, what's going to happen to my team? Do I have to fire people away? That's the first misconception. And the reason why that is because not everybody is filling their knowledge gap by going and reading about AI. So it's a job that I take on with very much pride to help them understand, no, you can still keep the same workforce that you have, but use them in where you need their judgment, where you need their prior experience, and use it to supervise the way AI is handling your task. Because frankly, someone is going to have to supervise AI all the time, right? So that's one. Second is they think AI is for big businesses, which is also not true because truth be told, SMB owners are adopting AI faster than big businesses because they don't have a lot of bureaucratic functions and big IT teams to go through. They're very small, they're very nimble, they can adapt easily. They just need someone to come in and tell them where are the gaps in their business, what bottlenecks those gaps are causing, and what should be the first next step that they can take to automate a small workflow, which will save them 10 hours a week. And that's an immediate ROI that they can get on the money that they spend or the effort they spend on learning or having someone come in and install. And when they see the ROI, it's practical that they're going to come back and want to ask for more. So there are many reasons like this, but these are the two that jump out to me when I talk to them.
Absolutely, Aarti. You talk about, your philosophy, laziness as leverage. And you also tell that AI will not, make you relieve people. They will be there. So will AI make me lazy or my team lazy because I'm not firing them? They are very much there. Then what will they do? What will I do if we all become lazy? Do you think AI will make us lazy because there will be a lot of free time, as you say we are set out to do that with automation?
No, I actually completely disagree. And the reason why I use the term laziness is just because you have the time to do something and you can do something doesn't mean you should go do it, right? So people who are lazy, so I come from an engineering background, and in our world, the longer the code you write, um, it's a bad perception because then are you really thinking before writing? Because people who are really good engineers, they have a design ready, they follow lots of design patterns, and then they come up with maybe 2 3 lines which are which are easily able to replace 1,000 lines of code, right? So that's the same strategy I want you to use in your business when you're adopting AI, is find the tasks that bring you light and energy. Maybe you are a good communicator and you just want to sit and talk to people and sell because you're a good salesman, right? So that's where you'll shine. That's where your mojo is. I want you to spend most of your time there because A, it lights you up. You're clearly good at it. And then it also brings you money because when you get on sales call and you close those calls, you also bring money to your business. So that's your obligation to spend your time on $1,000 an hour task. Now, AI will always require supervision from humans. So, what can your team do if AI is doing, say, most of their work? You can get them trained to do higher leverage tasks that they haven't been able to do because they have been sitting on the front desk answering what are your open hours or office hours for the 100th time in the day. So you can go get them training on the things that they have been wanting to. Because let me tell you the truth, if you build the people in your business, they're going to go build a better business for you. So you have to invest the people who work for you, because if you know what their goals are, what their aspirations are, where they want to be going in 5 years from now, you can get them trained on those tasks while AI does and fulfills the lower leverage tasks.
Right, right, Aarti. You talk a lot about small businesses, and small businesses, they want to be as close to their customer. Several people have this thing that if I go for AI and automation through AI automations, then either I will become too dependent on other parties, either you call it Chat GPT, Claude, DeepSeek, or any other of these, Perplexity, whoever it is. I will be dependent on that. Secondly, it will take me away from my customer. And then I will lose that whole understanding of business. Here, my customer keeps on talking. Already, there is a lot of hue and cry about chatbots and all that stuff. And then they get that AI means also these chatbots. How would you like to tell them about this sort of thinking?
I love that question. Yeah, you're really nailing it. So let's start from the first one you said. Would they become too dependent on the tech? The way I want you as an SMB owner to think about this is, I know you are a small medium business today, but I hope you want to grow tomorrow. The only way for a business owner to grow is to delegate. And believe me when I say this, 99% of the business owners I talk to, even if I want to give them the tools so they can fly, they have a really hard time delegating. So, my first recommendation for them is, if you ever want to grow in your business, learn how to delegate. You need to know the tasks that are worth your time and the tasks that do not serve you well. They'll always keep you small. So you need to find who to delegate to. Now, you could go hire a human being to do it. So you could go hire a VA or an EA or whoever you like. But you could also find or go or ask someone to build you an AI automation, which can take that training, build an AI automation for you, and then the human can sit and supervise them or make it better over time, but also make sure that it all starts with the mindset that I cannot grow my business or scale my business if I keep doing the $10 an hour task. So that's one. So no, you're not, it's not making you dependent on a piece of tech. It's teaching you how to learn to delegate. So that's one. Number two is, would it take you away from your customers? Frankly, if you're doing it well, if you have an AI adoption strategist or AI consultant on your team who is there to tell you which tasks to automate, why they solve a bottleneck growth problem, what is the ROI on automating that particular workflow. If you have someone who can tell you that, then all you need to do is to create the workflow and automate it in a way, be it a chatbot, it could be an AI voice agent that's an appointment setter, but the copy has to be written, because AI is going to follow a script, it's going to follow a workflow, it's going to follow a process, and you have to teach AI, you have to train the model in a way so it sounds like human, it's very close to how a human would make decisions on the call, which will not be perfect, but it would be a good place to start. So let me ask you this. Let's say we install an AI voice agent in a dental office. Now, there is someone who went through a root canal yesterday. They wake up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. They are in excruciating pain, but your office is closed. Who are they going to call? But the patient needs help. If they call, and we have installed an AI voice agent in your business, which is working after office hours, and your employees don't need to sit in the office at 3 a.m., but the AI voice agent is there. The patient calls, AI picks up the call, and they give them the first appointment for 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Would your customer complain or would they be grateful? So it's all
Absolutely.
about how you are, it's the perspective. What are you there to do? You are there to serve your customers. You are there to give them the best of the best customer service. It's just your job to figure out how they get it. If it's via tech, I don't think the customer is going to complain because they're getting their call answered within seconds, not the next day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well explained, Aarti. Now, a lot of small business owners will still think that, Aarti, I agree with you. But the problem is that the world is passing through a lot of transitions. Anything can happen. How do I de-risk myself? If all my data goes, my privacy is gone, my customers' details are now in other companies I'm sharing with all these companies whom I do not know. They themselves don't know where the AI is going. So I don't know about it. How do I protect myself? And then something happens like it happened last year. Some sort of an update and the systems go down. How do I de-risk myself? Earlier on, present way, I still have that data in some file or the other, in some records or the other. I am able to do my business. AI will, if my business closes for few days, I am on the roads. What would you like to tell them about de-risking?
I love how you're putting it. And it's also speaking directly to the business owners because, yeah, I mean, and these are the questions I get on the discovery calls too. So, my response to this is think about when social media was coming on and people now have 500,000 or a million followers. What happens if that goes away tomorrow, right? That's why you build your email lists. So you are on a rented platform, but then as you're building your list, that's your audience you can speak directly to in their inbox. Think about when the cars were being developed or being innovated, and people had lots of misconceptions about, well, they were true, but they were worried about, well, what if there's going to be drunk drivers on the road all the time, a lot of accidents, there's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, that doesn't happen every day, right? So, and then think about AWS and GCP, right? And then all the cloud platforms, like they are legit killing it. And you're able to host your data not at an exaggerated price, it's affordable. So again, it's mindset first, action later. Come from a perspective of technology is there to take humankind in the direction that they should be going. We have brains and we want to do lots of innovations with them, so everybody should be excited that people are innovating, and we're moving the humankind in the right direction. Second, when you sit down and work with an AI strategist, I want you to ask all those questions to them. And if they don't have good answers for them, how they are taking backup of their data, how they are ensuring the security of your data, how they are encrypting it if you have HIPAA compliance. If you ask them questions and they don't have answers for it, that's a red flag. You should not be working with them. So you have to go find people who are able to either come up front with those questions, because they're going to talk about how we're going to make sure that your data is GDPR compliance, how we make sure that the policies are all followed. So again, it's you have to be at the forefront of filling your knowledge gap. So you ask the right questions, and you also make sure that AI consultant or the strategist or the AI officer that you work with, they are the right person to work with you. I hope that answers, Ajay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Aarti. But if the business owner says, Aarti, you are also a business owner, you are telling me to go for AI automation. Tell us how has it helped you? Give us some examples that so that I know you have
Yes.
experienced it yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my lead gen is done through an automation. I've built myself a cold email automation where I send almost 2,500 to 4,000 emails on a monthly basis. And then it books qualified appointments on my calendar without me interfering or touching the automation. And based on my close rate, I am easily making 5 figures a month. So when I saw that I had the ROI in my business for that cold automation, and once a month I just have to come in and drop the leads, I started selling it to other business owners too. I mean, I've actually closed 3 clients for this automation last week. And the reason is my offer is really clear. Um, if we don't get you a minimum of 10 qualified appointments on your calendar under 60 days, you don't pay anything. So, A, it's risk free for you. Second, I also guarantee that we'll give you qualified appointments. I also tell you minimum how many we'll be able to get you. And fourth, if it doesn't deliver, then you don't have to pay. And fifth, they're all going to be qualified. And the beauty of the automation is once we build and install in your platform, you never have to go and touch the automation again. Every month you come in, you drop in the new leads in a folder, and the automation runs by itself. So that's, again, once you take lead gen off of a business owner's plate, where they're not wondering where the next client is coming from, it saves easily, and I'm saying easily, 15 hours per week. And you know what is the ROI on that? You multiply those number of hours by their hourly rate. They're easily saving that first. Second, business owners spend a lot of time writing their proposals, honing their proposals. It's not a rinse and repeat cycle for them. So we automate that process as well. And I do that in my business as well. When I get off the discovery call and I know they're interested, they want to see the proposal, I can send it within seconds, but I tend not to because I don't want them to think it's 100% automated. And I put a timer on the automation. After 30 minutes, AI writes my whole proposal and it sends to them. So these are some of the low-hanging examples I'm giving you, but there are many more. Again, it depends on where, as a business owner, are you spending time today? You have to start there, because if you don't see the ROI, you're going to burn out, and then you'll think AI is crap and it's a buzzword. And so that's why I want you to start on the right foot.
Absolutely, absolutely, Aarti. And before I come to the next question, let me bring the question of one of our audience. And as you can see it on the screen, it says, the more that humanity uses AI, the less able it will be able to think for itself. Now, this is about the humanity part, but about businesses. Now we talked about the laziness part, but here it's about, they will stop or start thinking less. What is your understanding of it, especially from business perspective, small business perspective?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I think I come from a very minded perspective, and I think about tech in general, not just AI. Um, I have to do 50 things on a daily basis. Can I offload it? If yes, should I go pay a human to do it? And what would that cost look like? Versus if I can build an automation, how much would that cost? And then I compare the two. And then anything that I build in my business, I don't just keep it for myself. When my team builds it, we let it run for a month or two. We look at the data, we look at the numbers, we see the ROI. If there is an ROI, we quantify how much. And then when we see that there is a strong case, then we go sell it to other businesses. So why do we sit down and develop them? Because I see a clear path of selling it to other businesses. That's how I justify my time. Someone on the call the other day asked me why if these are plug and play tools and the platforms are available, why can't I just go build it myself? Why do I need to hire a team like you? And I 100% understand where they're coming from. I just tell them is that you are a business owner. You have a skill that you're good at. That's what you should cash on. Going to learn a new skill about AI and then sitting down to automate and then sitting down and writing the workflows and then building those automations. Is that worth your time? If you can justify sitting down and building those systems, I 100% understand you should go do it for yourself. But then we could also go fix lots of plumbing issues in our houses. We can also go clean our houses. I don't do that because I don't think that's where my time is spent. I'm here to raise a family of 3 kids, and I have 2 dogs, and we also have aging parents. And I also have a business that I want to grow. I also have team members who, from time to time, they need my help. If I were to go do something, that's what I would do. And then, unfortunately, as a human, I also have very limited hours in the day. And I also like to protect my energy. I also like to go run a few miles a week. So, and that's where my personal development is coming from. That's how I'm growing as a human and as a mother and as a daughter. So, then I have to delegate. And like I said, it all starts with a very mindful realization you cannot do it all. So you have to go delegate some pieces. I hope that answers the question, Ajay.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have answered a lot of questions on this, and I'm sure there is much to understand and learn for people who want to understand it in their own way. So, for those people who would want to connect with you, learn more from you about automation, about your business, connecting with you, taking your help, connecting with Cordonix AI, what is the best way for them to do so?
Yeah. So again, 95% of the business owners I talk to, they are curious, just like your audience, but they have no idea where to start. So I have put together a very helpful resource for them. They can go on our website, and we'll be dropping the link here. It's an AI readiness score. It is a quiz that you can take under 3 minutes, and it will very clearly tell you where the gaps are in your business based on the information you provide. And it'll also tell you what is the next step, what is the next stage you go to. If you take these actions, either work with us or work with any other AI automation specialists. And then how much of dollar amount or money or units. It'll also help you quantify how much time you can save on a monthly basis if you were to go build and install those automations. So we can drop the link here.
Absolutely, absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.